Amigas y amigos de Metalópolis, ¿cómo están? Qué gusto me da poder darles la bienvenida a un episodio sumamente especial en este podcast de confianza para conocer todo lo relacionado al mundo del heavy metal. En esta ocasión tenemos el placer de platicar con el gran Joel Ekelöf, el cantante de la banda de Progressive Metal sueca Soen. Hi Joel, welcome to Metalópolis, how are you?
Great. Nice to be here.
Thank you for being here, Joel. So Soen is coming back to Mexico in a couple of weeks with a tour to promote your latest album, Memorial. For those people who haven't listened to this album yet, how would you describe the sound briefly of this record?
Classic Soen, but also more emphasis on metal, more traditional metal, just paying respect to the legacy of metal,
Yes.
I would say. But,
Yeah.
if you compare it to Cognitive or Tellurium, for example. But it's a very, very good album that we are very, very pleased with in the idea. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really complex album with actually a real heavy atmosphere, like a post-apocalyptic even atmosphere in some of the songs.
Yeah.
With this tour, can we expect a setlist heavily focused on Memorial, or will it be a balanced setlist with songs from all your career?
Yeah, we always try to, always try to balance the gig. So it's gonna be, we take in a lot of songs from the other albums as well. But yeah, a little bit more, at least 3 or 4 songs from Memorial live,
Yes.
so that sure it's
That
Memorial.
that's excellent. That's a great album. I personally love Imperial too. So let's hope there are some songs from that album too.
Yeah, of course.
So so now let's talk about lyrics. So in the lyrics talk about personal issues, emotions, social problems, and more. What is the general message that you want to share through your music?
The general message, if we're talking, it's a very, wide thing, but if there is a general message, it's always that, you can make something about your situation. You can be, even if, the themes on the lyrics are always dark, but it's always, a solution. You can do something about it yourself. You can see it positive, and you can take energy from it, and you can be stronger. A little bit like that. I would say that Soen is, a dark, melancholic band, but we're always looking very positive on life, and that if you're strong, you will survive, and we can be strong together too, so it's sort of an uplifting message in the end.
Yeah. Actually, Soen is like a really beautiful melancholic music. Like you have actually take some strong of the lyrics of Soen. And talking about the lyrics, besides Mexico, Soen is a cherished band in all Latin America. Do you think that the lyrics of the band and the emotions that you share with your voice act like a bridge between Soen and the Latin American audience?
Oh, could be. I mean, obviously with Martin Lopez in the band, with his, all the Latin American roots and his soul, really flows in the music. I think that's what bonds Soen with Latin America a lot. The rhythms and the way of, expressing yourself in a way that I think that's probably why why we work so well together, Latin America and Soen,
Yes.
Also, I have always myself enjoyed expressing the vocals in a emotional and soulful way, as well as aggressive. I like aggressive music, but the melodies, it's not just going aggression. It's always with a heart, with something strong, and I want to express emotions with my vocals, and I think that the Latin American audience understands that, you know, it's that you can be aggressive and you can be emotional at the same time, you know. You see what I mean?
That is the key, exactly, to be aggressive and emotional. And a shout out to Martin. Martin, si nos está escuchando, hola. So, as a vocalist, Joel, how do you prepare before going on tour with Soen? And maybe do you take some extra care with your voice throughout the tour, or like some tips for vocalists?
Yeah, there is some things. I mean, as a vocalist, you always bring your instrument in your body, so you have to sort of be careful. You know, when you're on tour. For example, my first tip, which is it's both easy and hard. It's not to talk too much.
So hard.
Like if you talk constantly, it's sort of, you know, that takes a lot more hurt on your voice than singing. Okay. Especially if you talk loud, if you're in a, you know, in a bar somewhere talking, or in a big, you know, in a mall or something, you know, some place where it's noisy, and you try to. So singers should always be quiet, you know. So, yeah. Besides that, you know, it's you have to be. I mean, yeah, you know, you have to, as a singer and frontman, you have to be a little bit like be away sometimes. Sometimes I have to go, you know, to my if it's a tour with a tour bus, I have to go somewhere and be alone for a while and quiet and alone, because if you every night you go out and you meet a big audience and you meet so many people and you meet so much, you know, energy, and you need some time after that to relax your body and, you know, relax your vocal cords, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, other than that, you know, warm up. You warm up a little bit. It's exactly. For vocalists, it's important to do that, and always listen to, or you know, you learn not to strain your voice too much. I know it's a very hard tip to say, don't strain your voice. Difficult to tell, because, you know, when you have been a singer for a long time, you know when you do it and you know you don't. When you're unexperienced, you don't really recognize it, what it is. But it's an important tip, of course, for a vocalist to learn when the vocals get strained, and then you have to stop, you know, and
yeah. The full experience of being a vocalist. So Soen had a very good run of performance in Mexico, 2020, 22, 23, 24, and now you're returning in 2025. How do you feel about this great demand from Mexican audience of Soen shows? I would say that you have quickly became one of Mexico's favorite bands.
It's fantastic. I mean, what can I say? You know, it's very special to come to Mexico and to have that kind of reception, especially with the energy level in the crowd when you go out. It's so high, and it helps you so much as when you go on stage, you get so much support. It's, for a European band like us, it's just fantastic, you know. It doesn't happen that much in our, you know, regions.
yeah, we're kind of crazy in a good way, I hope. And,
in a very good way.
Yeah, excellent. Do you face any particular challenges due to this demand to come to Mexico frequently?
I mean, it's, of course, I wouldn't say that's not a challenge. It's good, you know. If we can come more often to Mexico, it's
better, even better.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and we are really happy to see Soen so much here in Mexico. Really a good live band. An important point is that the tours you have around the country have been in several cities. Have you visited any place through Soen's tours that you really like in Mexico?
That's the hard thing is, you know, when we're working, we work, you know, so we don't have so much time to see Mexico for what it really is. That's you know, I really wish I would see more. You know, once many years ago I was on vacation. I was in a place called Holbox, you know.
Yeah.
Island.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So fucking beautiful. And you know, so I wish I would have more vacations, because you know, when we go to Mexico and we play, we don't get that much time to you know, actually see what it's really about.
Yeah.
You know, we have, you know, we have seen a little bit. Yeah, I wish I had more time to spend in Mexico. Yeah. You know, but I saw Tulum, you know, tourist.
Yeah. So Soen's tour, this tour will be starting on February 8th in Mexico City and ends on February 20 in Guadalajara, with a total of 8 dates. What are you guys expecting about this tour, and what can we as the audience expect from these presentations?
I just really hope that we can give you the best Soen that you have ever seen. You know, I feel that the band is better than ever, and then I can just hope that you know, Mexico will be Mexico. You know, that Mexico that I'm this crowd that I'm expecting, or like that I'm hoping for. I just hope so. You know,
Mexican audience always crazy. Really devout to the bands that audience like. So before ending, Joel, just a quick question. Cognitive was the first album of Soen released in 2012. How do you perceive the evolution of Soen after those 13 years since then?
Well, it has been it's like a fantastic, like, you know, the evolution has been, when we made Cognitive, we didn't know what we were doing, you know.
Yes.
We had just met as a band, you know, me and Martin, and we had Stevie Giorgio in the band. We had you know, other musicians back then, and we were just experimenting, and we were just trying out things. And listening to the album today, I'm like, wow, okay, how did we do this? You know, because we had no idea. We were just doing the music, and okay. Today we have a lot more experience, and we know exactly what we want to say and what we want to do. So it's a bit different. But I think the whole thing with the core of Soen is really there. You know, if you listen to Cognitive, Tellurian, Lotus, Lykeia, you know, all these albums, you can see that there is a sound in those that is Soen that we have not defined. It's nothing that we planned, but it has turned out of, you know, during these albums, that we have a certain sound, a unique thing, something, a small piece in the music there is just particularly Soen, and you know, that's fantastic. It's nothing that you can control, but it is there, and I love that. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and that sound is what makes so many people love your music. So, Joel, thank you very much for this interview, and we'll see you in 2-3 weeks in February 8th here with Soen Strings. Thank you very much, Joel.
Yes.
Thank you very
See
much,
you. Bye.
Have a nice show. Bye bye. Thank you.